Hello, grazzi tal-li tħaltu s-seguna. Illum il-programm id-dedikat biex nażlu li nitalmu iżjed dwar l-awtiżmu. Il-programm tal-lum ser inkunu qegħdin nwassluh bl-Ingliż. Hello, thank you for tuning in. Today's program is about choosing to learn more about autism. On behalf of Aġenzija Żgħażagħ, we welcome you to another program of Choosedays. Today's program is about choosing to learn more about autism, and it is with great pleasure that I introduce our three guests with us today. Desiree, which we will be calling her Didi, Zachary, and Carl. Thank you for accepting our invitation to guest on Choosedays. Please introduce yourselves by sharing three things about you in order for our audience to get to know you better.
My name is Carl, and I like to play computer games, and I suffer from anxiety, you would call it like general anxiety, and I like to swim in the sea. I like to think about things, ideas, what I could do, try to be try to be creative and all.
All right, so my name is Zachary Gatt, and I like to draw, swim, and play games.
I'm passionate about what I do. I love anything to do with nature and spirituality because I feel, in my opinion, it's the best way to be connected with ourselves and life itself.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction about yourselves. So, Didi, I will start off with you as one of the youth workers at Youth.inc within Aġenzija Żgħażagħ. You also work with young people who are on the autism spectrum. Can you share with us what kind of pre-planning you do or you have to do? And do you think you need to have a flexible attitude to adapt according to circumstances? If you care to share some stories with us.
Yes, pre-planning is very important in the work we do at the agency, since it allows the possibility for young people to reach their goals and their objectives. So, for example, if we are pre-planning an outdoor activity, it would require carrying out various tasks. So, for example, discussing time schedules, bus routes, bus stages, packed lunches, budgets, weather forecast, yes, and also establishing guidelines to feel safe, which is very important.
Very important.
It could be anything from planning an exercise activity, which will require pre-planning, so getting the resources together, seeing who's going to do what, checking, researching, finding out images. It could be creating a craft or even a food project. There's a lot of pre-planning to get to where we want to go. And we pre-plan what would be required to then eventually carry out an activity outdoors. So if we're talking about the environment, for example, it would require that obviously the usual routine that we take, a particular bus route, and then obviously planning what our objectives are in the class. So for example, if we're learning about conservation within the classroom, we go into the field, sometimes literally. So for example, an agricultural field, and we would talk about organic farming, we would talk about the produce, we would talk about buying local products, talk about water conservation. And obviously there are people who have this knowledge out there, and so who inform the young people. Obviously, we've had to adapt, and we've had to adapt because of the situation, because of the current measures. So we've had to move from face-to-face communication to online. there was there was decision making involved, and the young people then started getting into digital software, and so they created two projects. One was a breakfast project, and another one was a weekly agenda of what their goals and aims would be. And as far as getting rid of the sort of other resources and using new tools. So obviously using tools online, so moving text, bringing up symbols. The young people themselves, which was so beautiful and wonderful, was that they were creating these projects very much on their own. And it's lovely to see the talent that comes out. So in fact, sort of young people have learned in this process how to become resilient, kind of bouncing back from being in an environment where they found, okay, we are limited, but let's take this opportunity to discover how we can work in ways that does not require being face to face. And it's been great. I mean, obviously there've been other situations where we've had to adapt. For example, if the young people would have participated in an outdoor activity and they had scheduled a particular route, we found situations where the young people would want to catch that particular bus, and unfortunately that bus would have been cancelled due to either some roadwork. So there would have to be a plan B. So yes, we've adapted to the best possible way we could.
Of course. So now, Didi, what skills do you focus on at Youth.inc, especially when it comes to inclusive education?
At Youth.inc, we enhance the learning environment to offer young people the possibility to develop, to participate in action, so as to feel more inclusive in society. So basically, during the program, we identify the strengths and interests so as to match them, for example, with a work placement. This I find a very interesting part in what I do. So, for example, there are, as we know, young people, they love nature. So we found this out, obviously, after taking a trip to Gozo at a farm, where the young people participated in grooming the horses, feeding different animals, and they spent the day there. And that was one of the nicest enjoyable activities that they had. And in fact, we took it a step further because also young people love plants, for example. So we created an outdoor activity at an agricultural center, whereby the young people had to carry out different tasks using different skills, such as decision making, teamwork, communication, critical thinking, responsibility, as well as learning new skills in the field so as to be informed, okay, to take the right decisions for future career choices.
And that makes the whole experience more fun, even when you have to go and work as well. So now this question is for all of you. Tell us 2 positive things you have been experiencing during this pandemic.
I'm having fun at the placement, basically, and I'm having fun with working with people, and I'm having fun just like doing things outdoors, and I try my best to do the hard work. I just try my very best.
Well, the two things of that positive things that happened is I get to spend time with my family at home because quarantine, and I get to see my friends. I like go out with my friends.
So 2 positive things I can think of is appreciating daily life more and little things in life much more.
Very well. Thank you for sharing these positive things that you have been experiencing. And now I will move on to speak with Zachary and Carl. So, Carl and Zachary, what are some of your favorite activities or events that you did or are currently doing?
Well, I like to play computer games, and I enjoy doing the work placement because I really do enjoy some activities. Like we try to put the plants in one line to make, because my employer like told us to make it like pretty for the customers. So we put the plants in one line, like make it to five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like one line, and we basically just clean the tables sometimes. And I remember yesterday we were removing some plants that are dead because they were recently dead, and we put them in the wheelbarrow, and then we take them to the thing where it's called. We throw them away, and I really do enjoy this sort of thing. Like have fun at work, enjoying some experience with just and just and just it's okay if you make mistakes. It's okay if you make mistakes, because that's life.
So my favorite activities and events that I did and are currently, well, it's only, well, like going on outings. It's what we did. That's what I did. Like outings with my friends and playing games.
So, you have games in common as well, Zachary and Carl. Very good.
Hmm.
And now, what are some positive things that you come across in your day-to-day activities?
When, I used to be afraid of catching the bus, right? And I was so scared. Like on the bus, I was panicking because I was scared if I would get lost. Like because I didn't much know about the bus routes, because I'm worried if they go to the wrong side or to the wrong location. That's what I'm worried about. But I just look at the bus routes, and the more I took the bus on outings, the more I'm learning now. And for the interview, I remember on my interview, I just went to Boomerang all alone, and I didn't feel fear. Like it was kind of a little bit, But then again, I managed to overcome it.
So, it's a positive aspect for you, it's a positive thing for you, Carl, that you can now be more independent. You're catching the bus on your own.
Yes, yes, yes. It's like I'm learning the bus now, you know.
Very good. And so, Zachary, the same question for you.
Some positive things I learned are managing to learn the skills of activities such as fitness, going to new places, and like learning about the environment.
And now, what about your social lives? Do you have to make extra efforts? And if yes, what are they?
Maybe maybe a bit of effort to meet up with my friends. Maybe I enjoy going out on my own. Mostly sometimes I usually go out to do the shopping basically. And when I'm working, I just go out to do my job and that's it.
My efforts are like to learn more about buses and everything.
So now we are going to take a look at what Carl, Zachary, along with Didi and all the other young participants and youth workers, and we're going to see a bit what they have been doing from last October till now at Youth.inc. Let's watch this short clip together. that we have seen some of the events that you participate in, Carl and Zachary, do you have any proposals in mind that can take place in order to facilitate young people with autism getting around?
Just like just give the young people about more information about what to do, and and give them some support, and and give them some support, and make sure they could be safe, and just give them and just give them something that that they can learn from it, so they could keep so they keep so they could keep on going on it, for example. And if they keep on going on it, they would learn it. I would like to suggest the online app. It would be on the bus routes. It would be on time. Like at what time does the bus leave? At what time does the bus arrive? Yes, and also the bus. You look at the bus route to see where you're going. If you're going to the right location, and then make sure you check for updates if they changed the routes or not changed the routes.
So this is a very good suggestion that you're proposing, Carl, that if there are maybe some road closures or they would update the route. So you would feel safe and know your end destination as well.
Yes, however, however, the problem there could be road constructions, like working on roads. However, not to panic. Check on updates and see what's going on, and you'll be fine.
Very good. Thank you, Carl. And now, Zachary, if you would like to propose something to make your lives much easier.
Well, I think we should like make this bus map even better to see, because instead of just like black and white, we add like images. We could add like colors. We would add like a little bit of a little more for them to see instead of just black and white.
Very good. So you were adding more to Carl, what Carl said, Zachary, and add on to the maps, to the bus route maps, and make it more color coded, and maybe add pictures as well to make it much easier to read as well. So we always like to end our program on a positive note and with a quote that is related to the topic at hand. Therefore, we have asked Zachary and Carl to send us their favorite quote that they will share with you.
The greatest pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do.
The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you've got to pull up with the rain.
So those were the quotes and the positive messages that Carl and Zachary would like to share with you. And now, Didi, do you have a message to give to those people who are watching us at the moment and know someone on the spectrum or are on the spectrum themselves?
Well, I will quote a German educator called Kurt Hahn. And he always said about young people, there is more in you than you think. So I think that applies to across the board, you know. A lot of young people lack the confidence. So their true potential does not come out. And at Youth.inc, at Agencia Zaza, we are there to promote that. Because at the end of the day, we want to raise the voices of these young people, of all young people, and find out their talents and their gifts so that they can feel more whole within themselves and more inclusive within society.
Thank you for that powerful and positive message, Didi. Thank you once again for making some time to share your own experiences with us, Carl and Zachary as well, and your stories and your proposals as well. Big well done for all the work that you are doing. Tomorrow, we will be posting Carl and Zachary's favorite quotes from Agencia Zaza North Youth Service Facebook page. Make sure to like and follow us there. Thank you for watching Choosedays. We will see you for our weekly program next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Take care.